All right, I think we're good to go. Looks like I'm just missing the viewers here on the top. I don't know exactly. Sometimes things go away. I'm not sure why. It's so weird. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna just wait for people to jump on real quick. What's good, everybody? Suhail back with Feel Good Threads. Today I've got a little bit slightly different of a setup. As you guys can see, I've got a lot more room on this left side here because I'm going to be cutting things out over here with my Cricut Maker. So if this is your first time even hearing about the Cricut Maker or wondering what the Cricut Maker does, today what I'm going to be doing is cutting out pattern pieces so that way I can make my own set of Jordan 1s. If you're interested in making shoes, our Patreon channel, it's patreon.com/feelgoodthreads. I go into a lot more detail on how to make shoes. So please join us there. Again, that's patreon.com/feelgoodthreads. We are going to be now introducing things like cutting out and making patterns, how to assemble the patterns, put them together, how to glue them, what kind of materials to use for gluing and getting them put together. And then lastly, we're going to start showing you guys the introduction on how to use a high post bed sewing machine. So if you've never used that before and you've been curious and you just don't know exactly where to go, or if it's been very expensive of a journey for you guys, a lot of people are charging $4,000 or $5,000 for a class, then this will be a great alternative for you guys. All right, so with that said, what's good, everybody? I just want to say what's good to my homie Webbs Custom Kicks. My boy Webbs is always on right when I start, man. I appreciate you, doggy. Webb said, what up, fam? Those blue pythons are sick. Quan, bro, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, Patreon fam. We got GP Lock in the building. He's on YouTube. He said, I've been trying to get to you for a Wu-Tang pair. I have the kicks. The problem is I don't have an IG. Oh, snap. Okay, cool, man. No worries, dude. If you could do me a favor, usually I work through DMs, you know, but a lot of people also email me. So why don't you shoot me an email, GP Lock? It is info@shopfeelgood.com. I am currently booked right now, so just kind of giving you a heads up. I do have a lot of major projects. One project is about 25 pairs that I'm doing that might be coming in this week. So I'm just kind of seeing what's going on with that. But yeah, man, hit me up, dude. I'm definitely down to help you out with another pair of the Wu-Tangs. I don't replicate work, so if you're looking for that exact same pair of Wu-Tang dunks that I did before for the homie Constant, dude, I wouldn't be able to do that. I like to keep things one of one, all right? Punky B in the building, what's good? ¿Qué pasa, homie? How you living? Just drop the email one more time. I'm ready for sure, man. Actually, speaking of, let me just drop the email like this for you, so then that way you have it ready to go. Okay? So it's info@shopfeelgood.com, and that should be locked and loaded. Let me just go ahead and also drop in real quick. These are the links to a lot of the things that I use. People are constantly asking me like, yo, what tools do you use? If you need any tools, right there, what I just added was a bunch of links. Well, first off, it says get the paint from Alpha 6 Corporation. Man, huge shout out to Alpha 6 Corporation. Apparently, they've been watching my streams and they like what I've been doing. They sent me a huge, I mean, this was 2 boxes. I don't know if you all could see back right here, but this is just like maybe 25% of the paints they just sent me here with a beautiful acrylic display case for all their paints. So shout out Alpha 6 Corporation. If you guys need paint, that is my new go-to paint. I'm using them. Don't forget to use my discount code because I do get you guys a discount. They asked me whether I wanted to have a commission or give you guys a discount, and I chose to give you guys my discount. So the code is just feel good, and it's under alpha6corporation.com. So the link's there for you. Princeton, man, another one of my, these guys are an amazing paintbrush brand. So if you guys have not gotten brushes but you need brushes, Princeton is my go-to. This is usually one of my go-to brushes too, actually. 3/8 inch Princeton flat angular. So that's my next link there if you guys need brushes. I put the link for Amazon because that is coming directly from Princeton. I want to make sure you guys are getting genuine products. Believe it or not, people are knocking off products and throwing them on Amazon. So just be careful with that. The airbrush, I use my Iwata HPCS. So if you're brand new and you've never seen this channel before, the Iwata HPCS is a beast. I put the link for that and the compressor because you need something to power the airbrush. All right. Lastly, I think we've got scratch resistant sealer by LK. The last time we did a stream, I showed you guys how to use LK Liquid Kicks factory top coat. This is a scratch resistant sealer because once you paint your art, you want to protect it, right? You don't want to get it scratched on a curb. All right. So I think we're good to go, man. I think I kind of gave you guys a quick brief. One last thing. All the Patreon family, thank you guys so much. I think you guys just caught a first look at the Simpsons. If you haven't already, go to your Patreon. We just put up another video. It was the Simpsons video, Jordan 1s that we did. And I surprised my roommate from East Santa Barbara. He had no clue. So it's another, a great video on Alex's part. Not me. I do the paintwork and stuff. But, man, Alex, when he shoots... she shoots and he scores every time, man. This was a beast of a video. He edited such a great job, and he did such a great job just on the filming and everything. So shout out to Alex, LA Roofhopper. That is my video guy. That is my dude right there. Patreon family, if you have not already checked the Patreon, the other post that we put up is that I'm going to be shouting everybody out this week. Once a quarter at least, I'm trying to shout you guys out because a lot of you guys are so talented, but the world doesn't see you because there's so much stuff going on social media. There's, posts from so many different great artists. So the least I can do is get you guys up and running and get you guys more eyes on your page, get you guys some more looks, followers, and hopefully that'll lead to some more money. So if you haven't already, please check your Patreon channel. I asked you guys to just send me 1 picture or 2 pictures of some work that you're super proud of that you've created. So then that way I can throw that on my Instagram stories and get you guys shouted out and hopefully get you guys some more followers, right? Superman Lover, what's good? How you living, homie? Who else we got? Vels Custom Kicks in the building. What's good, Vels? How you living, man? Patreon family, man. I got a lot of Patreon folks on today. So hopefully y'all just heard what I said. I'm trying to shout you guys out. I'm trying to get you guys a little bit more love than you guys have right now because you guys deserve it. All right? So let's jump into what I'm doing today. A couple of different things. Number one, I got these Gucci Customs back from my buddy Joe. Joe didn't exactly like the Gucci stripe that I had added onto the shoes here. I personally thought they were dope, but he's a very simple kind of a dude, and he didn't like it because it was a little too flashy. So I tried to take off, you guys can see right here, I tried to take off the stripe, and y'all could see what happened here, man. Freaking sucks, dude. And this is genuine Gucci. Like, this is a purse that I had cut up. So yeah, man, I can't deliver this back to him. So unfortunately, I had to give him the news that, yo, bro, I'm gonna have to add this stripe back on. So that's gonna be one of the first things that I'm gonna do. And as this is settling out, what I'm gonna do then is cut out some things on my Cricut Maker, and I'll show you guys the progress as I go along. Just want to let you guys know this is, again, things that I'm getting prepared for the Patreon channel. So once I learn how to use this Cricut Maker, once I use this Inkscape program that we're kind of getting all these into vector formats, then I'll be able to teach you guys properly on Patreon as well. So my study time is your guys' gain at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So real quick, man, Legacy Colorway Customs, what's good, homie? If you guys haven't checked out Legacy, man, he's been killing it lately. Patreon fam as well. Who else we got here? Vel said, I need to do that. I'm not sure exactly what you need to do, bro, but do that, bro. Superman Lover said, good, my guy. Hope you're doing well, bro. I'm doing fantastic, man. What can I say? Healthy, and I'm finally caught up with work, so that's always a great thing. And then we got my boy Wade. There goes the neighborhood. Wade, man, you know I come on early for the East Coast for you guys, right? Usually I'd be doing this at like 9 p.m., but I want to make sure that you guys are up and stuff. And then lastly, man, I can't forget my boy Sneaky Ricky. Sneaky Ricky Customs, another Patreon family. If you didn't hear what I said, Sneaky, please send me a DM with your one of your most favorite things that you've been working on recently, so then I can shout you out, homie. Cool? Oh yeah, Vels, please, man. Yeah, send pics of the custom. Yes, I definitely need one from you, Vels. You've been killing it lately too, bro. Don't think I don't see you on Facebook killing it, man. I watch you guys, man. I watch you guys progress, man. I'm really proud of y'all. So anyways, man, let me I'm gonna unlace this guy first. And man, I want to show you guys this tongue, man. I kind of wish I had used this leather for the outer as well here, but I didn't, and I kind of regret it. But let's unlace this guy up real quick so I could show you guys the work, huh? Hey, much love, man. Of course, bro. Vels, the least I can say is I appreciate you, man, because don't think I didn't forget our conversations in the beginning, man, of when we spoke. I know that you said that you wanted to collab, and that you've been following me, man. So it's all love, bro. All right, y'all. Let me just get these red laces out. Man, it was hard for me to get these red laces up because I think these were from some red ones, man. But they just kind of really, it had a nice rich look to them. So I said, I got to drop these on. All right. So anyways, this is the tongue. You'll see the difference here in the leather, man. It was a really, really nice leather quality. It's nice and supple. Kind of has like an antique, like a vintage look to it. Then what I ended up doing here is I bought a zigzag machine, and thank God I didn't mess this part up. But I did like a union style zigzag stitch here. Actually, I did that for the entire section there, just to kind of give it that look of a union. Then I cut open the little holes here. And then this was actually on the inside of the Gucci purse. This was in the coin purse section where they actually have the Gucci logo. So I cut it out and made a tongue tag out of it, and then replaced and moved the Nike Air logo over here to the side. So just for you guys to get an idea what I did there. You know what I mean? You know what? Legacy colorway, man. Roger, you said that Cricut Maker 8's game changing. Just got mine and cut my first pattern and build with it. That's awesome, bro. That is great, man. So yeah, man. Legacy, I know you've been doing a lot of reconstructions as well. So as we keep diving in to all of these reconstructions and continue to learn, as I learn, I like to pass along all my information as well to you guys. So, all right, let me see if I can cut, because I could see, y'all see this, all this junk here. I got to get a little bit of this smoothened out before I just drop that like ribbon in. So I put just a slight bit of acetone on this ribbon here, just because that way it'll weaken the bond. Right now it's glued on there, and the only way to really kind of take glue off is what we're doing here right now, is using a little bit of acetone and then trying to take it out. Let me see, I might actually have, I know I got, give me one sec, guys. I got a little tweezer that might help. And this is my fault, man. I told Joe, I said, Joe, I think I could take this stripe out without damaging the material or anything underneath. But what happened here is I had used this barge cement. And barge, man, when you put barge on, dude, it's like, it really sinks in, and it does exactly what glue is supposed to do. It's supposed to eat into the actual material and like really form and bond into it. So that's why this is kind of a bitch to take off now. But this is part of the process too, making sure your customers are happy at the end of the day. And let's just say Joe didn't pay a small amount of money for these. It was just the Gucci purse alone was like $1,200, man. Crazy, right? Successful people like nice things, man. So y'all see, I'm not really like jumping into this and being too aggressive with it. I'm just trying to loosen it up. It's always nice to have a pair of these laying around. I use these quite a bit, because, well, first of all, my nails are all messed up now from acetone, but this gets a nice grip onto things like this, and it can really help alleviate the stress of damaging materials. So you could see that I'm just kind of very slowly trying to loosen up the material. The acetone is doing the majority of the work, which is weakening that glue right now. So as it does that, I'm just kind of trying to move it out of its place, reposition it out. Y'all can see how it's going to be a slow process, man. But that's part, that's part of working on customs, right? Learning and understanding how to take things apart and dissect them. So, how's everybody been, man? How you guys doing out there? Let me put this down here, you guys. Looking at a heel cap. So I think I got the majority of it out here. All right. I think for this I ended up doing it like right above the shoelace hole there, gluing it down and then stitching. You can see I stitch it to lock that bad boy up. Trying to be real careful with this here. When you got a shoe that's all completed, man, and then you got to take it apart again, this is like being like a surgeon almost. You got to be real careful with not damaging more of the product. All right, so I'm going to let some of this acetone dry a little bit before I keep going. I don't want to manipulate this section too much. All right, so our looks are right. And now this bottom section here, I think I got the majority of the bottom out, but you could see that it was glued in this section here. Yeah, it looks and feels good. So, all right, so next thing I got to do, this was the old stripe that I had taken out and sewn up. And it goes about in that little section there. You see that? So now I'm going to replicate that again. The good thing is I have the other shoe here for reference. So before I actually start doing the whole gluing process, what I like to do is get a visual idea of like, okay, where's this stripe at? Because I don't want to put this stripe in the wrong area. For example, if it's too far or too in front or in back, it's going to look bad, you know what I mean? So what I like to do is take note of some reference points. For example, like you can see here, I've got about a finger's worth here of gap. So I know for sure the finger's worth will be about right here. And so that's a good way to kind of have an idea of where to space things out and place things down. Because once you start gluing stuff, man, with barge, woo-wee, it's a wrap, dude. It's like really, really difficult to take that stuff off. All right. So, yeah, yo, Vels, man, congratulations, bro. I saw the studio, man. Isn't it a great feeling to feel like you're moving up and accomplishing things, man? It's dope. So is that in the same area, same neighborhood, or what's the deal with that, man? All right. So let's see. So let's kind of replicate the same length here as well. So I'm going to put this guy down here. Always better to cut a little less than you need to, okay? See, for example, here you can see that I've got quite a bit of ribbon left here. So let me grab some scissors. Where those scissors go? Let me grab the scissors. So here's some shears. These guys I got from Amazon are like super, super dope. They cut really, really well. So what I'll do now is I'll place this guy down here. And again, I'm giving a little bit of extra length here on the top. Maybe it should be like, for example, here. I'm going to just put it up slightly higher on purpose. Okay? And you can see here where you can cut. Here's an idea. What you can also do is just take a little piece of tape, for example. And let's just say we want the... You can see that the sew line. Y'all see that sew line right there? Let me make sure y'all see this before I cut it. I like to keep this ribbon not past this sew line because you know you're going to be sewing right there. That means you got to lock it in before. Okay? So let's go ahead and put this guy back down. And let's see here. So this is going to go this way, right? Flip it. All right, y'all notice I flipped it because it's the opposite shoe. So I'll place it down like right about here. Now I know this is where the sew line is going to be. It's going to be like right. Y'all see that sew line right there? So it's going to be right in that section. So now I know to cut exactly at that line. I've got enough ribbon here on the top where I won't have to worry about it as well. And now before I cut it, let me just make sure both sides look the same. You know what, this side feels and looks a little bit different, so I'm gonna flip it, guys. I'm gonna do it one more time again. All right, so then this is gonna go like this, and the sew line will cut right here. So same thing that I just did on this side. Since I'm going to be doing it on this side, it's probably smarter to do it this way here, okay? And before we start cutting anything, I just want to see, is a gap here look similar? It looks pretty close, right? And it's going to be hitting these lace holes right here on the top. So if I need to cut a little bit here at the end, that's okay. The main thing I want to make sure is I don't overcut where it's too short. Just take this guy off, and let's just go ahead and cut. And I'm literally going to be cutting right where that masking tape line is. Take note that you can see that when you cut it, there's fibers here that come out. See the fibers? So let's do this. Take a lighter and just singe the fabric just very lightly. That'll lock in the stitches a little bit. All right. You don't want them to fray. We're still gonna glue it in, you know, but I still do it anyways. And now what we'll do here is measure exactly where we should be at. Okay. I love to do a test fit before we do anything else. The test fit just kind of lets you know, like, all right, before you start getting the glue out, that everything looks a-okay. So here to right there, I'm gonna now push in. Let's see if I push in if this will go in or not. It does, but it doesn't go in all the way, see? Like I'm struggling a little bit, so I may have to open up this section just slightly, all right? Let me sit down for that. Let me sit down for that. Let me see if I got a razor blade around here. I need a razor blade for this. Razor blades, where are you? Come on, razor blades. You know what's crazy is when I don't need a razor blade, I'll find 7 of them. There we go. All right, y'all. Oh man, I've seen a lot of people talking in the chat, guys. I'll get back to you if you guys have any questions. Let me just kind of open this up slightly. When I open it up, notice that I'm pushing this inside because I don't want to cut the material, but then it'll give me a better idea of where this glue line is going to be at. So really carefully I'm going to try to cut in just to give myself a little bit more room. You need to get some room to get this ribbon in. And notice I'm not putting a lot of pressure, but I'm putting enough where I could feel that this guy is opening up a little bit. There we go. So again, now I'll push in, and as I push in, I can see there's fabric in here. So this is another thing that's avoiding the new ribbon from being in there nice and flush. And unfortunately, I might have to go in here real quick and do a cleaning on this. So if you ever wanted to be a dentist, this is your time. It's like cleaning teeth right here. I'm gonna go in real quick. See if I could just cut up and loosen some of this up a little bit. Again, I'm going to add a little bit of acetone. I don't want to add too much because you don't want to separate the sole, but you do want to weaken the bond here and try to take out a little bit of any of this remaining remnants that we have. So y'all can see that's coming out now. So again, we're going to just take the tweezers here. I'll try to tweeze out anything that I feel. If you don't take this stuff out, it's going to become like all bulky and bunched up here. So it's just important that you try to smoothen out anything that you can here. This may not come out exactly perfect, but it'll come out good enough where people won't notice that it's been repaired. Customs by Kev, what's good, homie? 20 minutes from the house, man. Could you ask for anything better than that, Vels? You know, when we work over here in LA, it's like an hour minimum to drive everywhere, man. So to work anywhere close to 20 minutes is awesome. It's nuts. It's unheard of in LA. Except for when COVID happened and some people started working from home, you know? This is probably my least favorite part of doing customs, is when I have to fix stuff, but it happens. And you still got to fix it properly, you know? You got a name to back yourself up. All right. That feels all right. Let's try it again. So one side seems to have more of a smoother edge there, and this side feels more webbed. So I'm going to try to go with the web side. Let's see if that probably would be the better way to go on this. No. How do we do this? Do we have it like this? Let's see. Ah, we did have it like this. Okay, cool. All right, so again, I'm going to have to put it underneath the swoosh. So I'm going to have to pick the swoosh up. Underneath the swoosh. Bring it through, and then start to actually place the position in here. I'm going to just try to get the bottom down first. And the good thing is, since I could see the old one, I know exactly where it should be at. Alright, so I'm about right there. Now I got to find another tool that just kind of poke it in. Maybe I could use this same tweezer. Let's see. Without trying to damage the webbing, because since it's knitted, you don't want to be too aggressive here on the netting. The webbing here. Alright, that feels alright. So what I like to do is kind of poke this webbing in as far in as possible. You know, you don't want it to bunch up. You want it to look smooth though at the end. So if you see bunching, that means that you've gotten here to this sole line, and it's just a bunch of fabric that's kind of being blocked there. So just get it to that sole line and you'll be straight. Alright, so that feels good. Alright. And now let's go ahead and get this side put in. And again, this might be extra. You see the extra there? So if you see the extra, now is a good time where we can snip. And the snip should be somewhere along this line. So for reference, I'll just for you guys so you could see. I would snip around this section here because you want to make sure the sew line captures that webbing. All right. So that looks like it's going to be good to go from about right here. Doesn't need to be exact, just needs to be pretty close. I'm cutting it away from the shoe before I cut the freaking swoosh off. That'd be embarrassing. There we go. And now you know this is why I tell you guys cut a little bit over on a little bit shorter on purpose. So then that way, if you get to this point, you know that you have enough ribbon to go in. This is a good test fit. Let me know what you guys think about that. How's that look? Before I start using the glue now, remember, we want to put them together exactly where the back ends are, the back soles. Make sure they line up correctly. And now when I show you guys in the camera, there should be 1 finger space there. That looks good, right? Does the spacing look good here on this side? That looks good to me. Does this spacing on this little semicircle look about equivalent? That looks good to me. And I know for a fact that these are good. That looks good as well. For this Gucci pattern, it was kind of a little bit more helpful because I can see where, like, for example, the GGs are and then the circle. So I knew, like, okay, Well, if this circle, the line is hitting right at that beginning of the circle, then this line should also hit at the beginning of that circle. Y'all see that? So it kind of helps me keep things as symmetrical as possible. That will only work if you have both of these panels cut exactly the same pattern, meaning that the GGs are in the same spots, and then obviously everything else should fall into place. So I made sure like the GGs were symmetrical on both shoes. You can see that on the back end. See the GGs here, right? Everything on these shoes should look symmetrical. The front toe box, GGs in the front, so on and so forth. All right. So I'm gonna now put this guy to the side because I don't want to mess it up. That'd be the worst. Fixing one shoe to mess up another shoe, right? So now I've gotten things kind of already set, so I don't want to budge and move too many things right now. I just want to get the glue ready. So let's move the glue. Let's move the laces for sure. I'm not trying to get anything on the laces. And my glue is like running out. I barely have any more glue. So I got to be really cautious. Make sure that the glue is not all like dried up, clumped up. If it is, I need to get glue. You know, simple as that. You know, Legacy, man. This is definitely a pain in the ass to fix, dude. And it was my fault. Again, I could have just told them, yo, man, the shoes are done. I don't think that we can take the stripe off, dude. I didn't. So it's all good. You know, I try to keep him happy. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to be doing another pair of shoes with me. So, you know, for me, customer service, this is what you get. You know, like if you're willing to help your customers out, then they're going to continue to do business with you. All right. So now let's take out a little bit of the glue. And I've got this glue paddle here. Y'all see this glue paddle? I'm not going to take a whole bunch of glue, man. I just need a little bit so I can start to apply it. So let's pick this out. See how I picked that out now? And we're going to just add some glue here to this section here. I'm trying to keep it real light. And I'm trying to keep it only where we need to have the glue. Same thing I'm going to do with the ribbon side now, okay? I'm going to grab a little bit. I keep saying ribbon, should be saying webbing. So now I'm going to add a little bit to the webbing here. You'll see that? Same thing. Just grabbing enough. Now for the webbing, I don't want to add too much because it's going to start to seep through. And you don't want things to seep through. You just want it to be enough where the two can bond together, because the way this contact cement works, you need to have the contact cement on both sides in order for it to work. All right. So I'm going to just do the top section first. We're going to secure the top section, make sure it looks appropriately adhered. And then after that, we're going to work on the bottom section. But like you said, Roger, man, this is not easy to do. Fixing something like this, generally, you can cause a lot of damage on the shoe, man. And that's the scary part. Any extra strands that are in here, I'm just trying to flatten them out so they don't have any bumps. That's important, you know, because when this is all said and done and I'm sewing things, I don't want there to be a bump because it's going to stay there. You know what I mean? I'm doing just one more light layer here. Notice that I'm not doing it all the way to the edge. The edge is going to be completed by the actual stitching. So I'll be stitching this with a patcher after this. All right, so let's go ahead and put this guy to the side here. And now I'm going to very carefully pick up this lace hole section. Place this in carefully. All right. And as I place it, I want to make sure there's no wrinkles, that the webbing isn't out of proportion. Things look professionally done here. Okay. So I'm pressing that all the way in. Let's do a quick comparison. Because if you're going to move it, this is the time where you got to move it, like right now. Okay. So as I place this down again, you know, take a quick look, make sure everything looks straight. That looks good to me. All right. So now we've got this section placed down correctly. The next thing I'm going to do is we still have to glue this small section on top of it, okay? So let's again grab this glue paddle. I'll grab a little bit of glue, not too much, because we've got a small section here. And I'm going to pick this up. If you don't pick this up and you get glue on this webbing here, you're going to be able to see it. So be real careful with this section. Already added too much glue here. So I'm gonna dial it back a little bit. You'll see what I do here. See any excess glue here? I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna take it off. And what I could do with that is just move it to other sections that I can see that are in need of glue. Nice smooth lather on both sides, and we should be good to go. There we go. Cool. There we go. Now this part here, we want to make sure that as you place it down, it's naturally laid down, so we're not going to pull or push or do anything too aggressive. We're just trying to keep it exactly where the shoe would look like when it's a factory shoe here. And as I feel comfortable, I'm going to just go ahead and press it down very carefully. It's funny because as many times as I do this, I still get like kind of nervous, a little anxiety before I start, especially because I know how much she paid for labor. So it's got to look good again. You know, Legacy, that's a good question, man. The client actually said surprise me. He didn't say like, you know, I want a stripe or I want this colorway. All he said is, here's a jumpsuit. I want you to match the jumpsuit. And that's what I did. I mean, I matched the jumpsuit. The jumpsuit looked very similar to this colorway and design. So I don't think it was more about the design or anything. I think it was just, you know, it's a matter of preference, I guess. And usually I'll just say, hey, man, you know. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard to say like, yeah, dude, you told me to do this freestyle and now you want me to change stuff. But you know, it's just part of what I do. You know what I mean? Wesley, what's good, man? How you doing? We got Wesley Hilliard over on YouTube. How you living, big homie? Superman Lover said it looks good. So we got that top section done. Vel said clean. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Customs by Kev, give me the approval. Thank you, Customs by Kev. Shout out Customs by Kev, by the way, man. He's sending me a one of those Foxtrot midsole staining markers, so I'm excited to use that when I get that in, man. Thank you again, man. I appreciate that. Legacy, you're funny, bro. Surprise me, but if I don't like it, I'm gonna just send it back, right? Oh man, wealthy clients, bro. What do you expect, man? All right, so we got the top section done, man. We're good, all right? Let's let that settle out a little bit. As this settles out, I'm going to jump into my I'm going to jump into my laptop real quick. So let's see if you all can see this here. 1 second here. Let me get in here real quick. Don't be trying to see my pin code, dog. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut out some stuff from... Oh, man. Seriously? All right, it looks like I'm going to have to restart Inkscape. The whole thing kind of went out on me here, guys. Give me a sec. I guess it's good that I signed back in real quick. Let's see, I agree. Open up. And open this, and then hit this. All right, cool. All right, so hopefully we got Cricut, what is this called? Cricut Design Space for Windows. They got it for Macs. They've got it for Windows. They've got it for all kinds of different stuff. But today I'm working on a PC. So because I'm working on a PC, we're going to be doing the Cricut design space for Windows, okay? So as I hit that, I agree. I don't know, sometimes this thing works, sometimes it takes me a little bit to load. So as it's loading, let me just finish up the second section here. I got a couple of people asking questions. What's up, bro? I'm an inspiring customizer. Bro, thanks for joining us today, Wesley. I appreciate you, homie. Hopefully I've taught you something before, man. If you haven't, check out the Patreon channel, man. We're doing a lot of crazy stuff on Patreon as well. I promise you, you'll level up. If you like stuff like this, what we're doing today, this is way more in depth on Patreon. So patreon.com/feelgoodthreads, Wes. Come join us, bro. Me and Kev got something cooking. I like that. Raining, what's good? How you living, Alan? Demore McLovin, have you used the primer yet? I'm assuming you are. Are you talking about this primer for LK, bro? Where's this primer at? LK primer. By the way, guys, I had this in the packaging they gave me last week, and I just missed it. So I had the primer. I missed that. Look at this. I don't know if I mentioned that I had this pinhole stuff here. This is for filling in swooshes and stuff like that if you have holes in your leather. And I had one more here that I didn't mention to you guys. Inner coat. I think I had gotten an inner coat, and I had not told you guys about the inner coat because I didn't see it in the box. So inner coat is another thing. Primer, I have used it. If this is the primer you're talking about, it works really well. Usually you use primer on the sections that are like plastic. For example, like wings on the Jordan 4 or the little eyelet things in the front of the Jordan 4s. I've seen a lot of people using the primer for those things. Basically what primer is you want to paint something, but you know whatever you're trying to paint doesn't adhere really well with the paint. So the primer is kind of like that intermediary. It helps to get that grip, you know. But a lot of times too, I'll use, for example, where is it? Adhesion promoter. Adhesion promoter is somewhere around here. I got a million things here, but I'll use an adhesion promoter. I will use wet sandpaper. You know, there's other things that I use to get that grit that your plastic pieces will need before I just jump on and throw some primer on. But primer is a great thing to have as well. You know what I mean? So I mostly only deal with airbrush and hand painting, but you've inspired me to do more custom sneakers from scratch, dude. Wesley, you know what? I'm learning it, and as I go along, man, I think a lot of us in the Patreon group are kind of in that same direction, man. Legacy Colorway Customs is one guy who he joined the Patreon channel a while ago. I think he's recently left, but man, it doesn't matter to me. I feel like he doesn't need the Patreon channel because he's building things from scratch, and he's gotten things down, So that's really primarily the focus, man, is for you guys to get better in whatever you're doing. I've always been interested in making shoes from scratch. I was just intimidated because just like, using an airbrush for the first time, you don't know how to use it, or it gets jammed or clogged and you have to troubleshoot it. And those are the things that I was not ready to do yet. But, because of COVID, dude, COVID has been a blessing for me. Because of COVID, I had to work from home. I had the opportunity to buy a sewing machine and just say, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do this stuff. And so, over the last year, man, I've gotten, I would say, considerably better at what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, okay, Cricut Design Space is running. Click OK to close it. Why would I want to close it, bro? I'm trying to open it. I don't know what's going on with this Cricut thing, man. We're trying to figure this out together. You know what I mean? This is my first time really jumping into Cricut Design Space. I've never used that before. This is going to be the next step for me to learn and continue to grow. Because right now, for example, for this pair of shoes, I cut everything here from just the patterns. And that's okay. That's normal. I mean, you're supposed to be cutting leather in pieces and all that stuff. But when you can get a machine to do the same work, then you can concentrate on doing other things at the same time. It's almost like having a second employee or a first employee in this case working for you as you're doing something else. All right. So if you guys are not familiar with Cricut Maker, that's why I got the Cricut Maker. I got Cricut Maker because it's going to help speed up the process in me now cutting the leather. And so as it cuts the leather for me, I can be preparing other things. You know what I mean? So yeah, Wes, primer and sandpaper, bro. That's both the go-tos. Again, I'm a big fan of and it's never around when I need it. But I'm a big fan of the SEC adhesion promoter as well. You know, that's something you might want to look into. If you need me to send you a link for that, no problem, homie. I got you. Let me go back up real quick. I see you guys are asking questions and stuff, so I know I missed a couple of you guys. I apologize. Car Snob, what's good? Elbow cough. Stay home. That's funny. LK is the shit. Yep, LK is definitely the shit. Oh, you got their finishers. Dope. So, yeah, I had noticed the primer when you were doing the unboxing. Demore, bro, I think I need to shout you out, man. You were the one who said you got the primer in there, dude. And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I had the primer in there, man. I just missed it because I got some old eyes, you know? All right, man. So, Kamis El Shamsi. Dude, send me customs you don't want anymore. Keep up the great work, man. Awesome stuff, and thanks for giving us tips and tricks. Kamis, is it Kamis? Am I saying that right? Man, I appreciate it so much, bro. I wish I had customs that I could just throw out to everybody, man. But most of my customs, you know, if I don't use them, I've given them to people who are like less fortunate, or kids who are going to school, you know, who can't afford like a new pair of shoes for the beginning of school. So I don't really have anything that I can say I can just throw people, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you saying that, man. So Avell said I could definitely identify with that. Wesley said cricket is awesome. I have one as well. See, man, so I'm like late to the game. I feel like, man, all you guys have been on the cricket, dude, and I'm over here just now figuring things out. So, all right, so now I'm gonna try to download it. There's two options on it. One of them is you can just open it from the web. The other option is for you to download the Cricut Design Space, and then you can open it from there. I don't know what's going on with the Windows section where you try to open it from the web. It hasn't been working for me. So let me just go ahead and it's downloading now. So as it downloads, I'll jump onto the second section. Vel said I use it a lot. Is that the Cricut, Vels? Is that what you're using a lot? Wesley, man, you couldn't have said that better yourself, man. They are truly amazing machines. Dude, this is going to save so much time. It's an absolute like game changer for us. And as we continue to like learn how to customize shoes, man, things have changed, dude. Like, you know, for example, these guys run around and they've got now an airbrush line and they've got a hand painting line, which is amazing. You know, there's all new products that are just coming out and they're really helping us out, man. They really are. Okay, so Wesley said I make my own stencils and stickers. Dude, that's a whole different story that I haven't thought about. I know that you can cut stuff. For sure, I know you can cut stuff. But I didn't think about making my own stickers. So that will be a super plus if you can. I know I'm talking a lot about it, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering where do you get it from. I'll send you guys a link, or I'll set up a link on YouTube under the description section when I get a chance to. I just wanted to get the stream started early. Otherwise, man, you know, we start at 7, 8 o'clock, and people on the East Coast don't watch anymore, you know what I mean? So, Michael Moshi, what's good, homie? Mike on Facebook. Hey, man, we need to get a poker game going, bro. It's about that time. Empire Customs. Holy shit, I switched accounts. What you mean you switched accounts, bro? I see you on YouTube. You switched from another platform or what? By the way, guys, if this is your first time here, we're on Twitch right now. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube Live as well. If you ever miss a stream, you can always go back to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/feelgoodthreads. Please subscribe to us, and you can always catch a playback. So, you know, for example, you missed today's stream, you can always go back and see it again, okay? Or, speaking of, man, you missed a lot of streams from previous, you can still go back and see all those playbacks, all right? The maker is the best. Send the link for the adhesion promoter. I got you, Wesley. Wesley, are you on Instagram? And if you are, please follow me and DM me. I'm a Feel Good Threads LA on Instagram, and I'll definitely send you the link, man. I've been, you know, I promote that adhesion promoter a lot, and I only use it because it works, man. It's a game changer for me. SEM adhesion promoter. I believe the model number is 363 or something like that. Anyways, just DM me. I'll get you the link, homie. For sure. Everett right in the building. What's good, Everett? How you living, man? Another Patreon fam. Everett, when you get a chance, man, you need to send me a picture of one of your most recent customs so I can shout you out as well, man. We're shouting out all the Patreon guys this quarter. Look at Vels, man. He's making shirts. He's making stencils. Crazy, bro. Okay, Customs by Kev. I got you, man. I'll check the P.O. box for that marker, man. Mass printing. Dude, this is, the funny thing is, when I first was choosing between the Cameo Silhouette, which I have that as well, and this Cricut Maker, I chose the Cameo over the Cricut. And they didn't have this Cricut Maker before. Cricut was really behind. So if you wanted to make a stencil or if you wanted to cut something out, you had to buy Cricut's, like, they had like a cassette tape. And whatever is on that cassette tape, that was the only shit that you can cut out. Like, it would be like a heart or a teddy bear. You couldn't cut out like a, for example, like a Supreme stencil or a Gucci logo. That was impossible to do that. You couldn't customize stuff. So they have moved up leaps and bounds. You feel me? Okay. Yeah, Demore, I saw that, man. The machine has different cut settings so it knows what materials it's cutting. Yeah, that I definitely did see, because last time when I was setting this up, actually, speaking of, let me open it. When I was setting it up, it said, what kind of material are you cutting? And then it'll even tell you, like, hey, you need to put this and this blade in there. So then that way you know which blade you need to put in, so you don't cut into the mat or you don't cut too lightly. It'll be the perfect cut. You know what I mean? So, Wesley Hilliard said, JC's Custom Kicks, the Gram and FB, bro. Way to promote yourself right there. I'll give you a free shout out. Warrior Customs, what's good? You staying a warrior? Empire Customs in the building. I made a custom Jason Voorhees for Halloween last year. I like that. For the 40th anniversary, but I didn't finish it in time and just painted over it. It was pretty thin layers. Huh, man, Empire, send me a pic. I'd love to see that Voorhees custom, man. Demore said, I bought SEM after seeing you use it on that PS5. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you've seen me use it on the PS5 controller. That's a perfect example on where you can use this primer, too, is on a PS5 controller, man. That's, it's plastic, man. Plastic has no, pores. It has no holes or anything to seep into. So you need to sand it down with wet sandpaper. Then I'll use some adhesion promoter to really get something to grip onto the paint. That's what it does. It's almost like glue. You know what I mean? I still have a couple of pics I need to turn into a video to post. Okay, cool, man. Tag me on it, dude. Bread Knight. Customize something. Bread's like, bro, I'm bored. All right, let's see if we can get this Cricut going, man. My bad, man. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I got some back heels that I was working on here. Let's see if you guys can see it here. Let me see if I could pull this over so y'all can see. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Sorry that it's kind of ghetto what I'm doing, but y'all can see what I'm doing here, right? This is the back end of the Jordan 1 here. This is I'm revising stuff, so I'm trying to cut and make sure that things look okay. So with that said, let me jump into cutting this out. And as I cut that out, I've been saying I'm going to glue this thing for like 20 minutes. So let's get some paper first. The paper I'm going to use, I jacked it from my daughter, by the way. It was some, and you don't have to use this paper. It's just she had this paper. So this is textured cardstock. I use the cardstock because, it has like a nice thickness to it. And plus it was in her drawer and she doesn't need to know about any of this. And y'all don't need to say nothing either, right? Keep it on the DL. So it's green, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what color it is. It could have designs on it. I know one of these other ones had designs on it. I use it anyways. And now I need to put this onto an actual backing. So let's get the cutting mat. Where's this cutting mat at? Ah, here it is. All right. So y'all can see I'm using this cutting mat. It's by Nicapa. The reason I'm using a Nicapa one is because they're pretty cheap, man, on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and buy them, you can get a 3-pack of these guys. And they run like $10, I think, for 3 of these. And what I noticed about cutting mats is as soon as you use them too many times, it's a wrap for a lot of them. So there we go. So I just put that guy down. Let me start the Cricut up real quick. Hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm basically just picking up this guy here. this bottom will fall down. And I'll hit the power button on here first. Alright. If you don't hit the power button, it's not going to cut nothing. Side note. Alright, so it's starting up here. Alright, that looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and just drop in that cutting mat and hit the load button. That load button is obviously going to get it ready to go. Now, the blade I'm using is like one of those micro blades. It's not used for leather, okay? So if you want to use... Where'd this guy go? I got one of them here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. This is going to be the cutting blade that you're going to need to use for leather. Alright, so you guys can see that that cutting blade has like almost like an X-Acto knife look to it. Alright, so this is not the blade I'm using right now because I'm just test cutting things, okay? So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit make it. And now it's going to ask me a couple of questions. So just like I believe Wesley was talking about, man. Wesley was saying that it'll ask you what kind of things you're using. Are you using cardstock? Are you using vinyl? Are you using leather? It's going to ask me. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And it says to continue, please connect your maker, which is connected. So I'm just waiting to connect it. And let me try to move this over so y'all could see a little bit closer when I'm doing this. Now it's asking me what kind of base material I'm going to use. It gives me a whole bunch of options. Cardstock, medium, cardstock, light, artboard, foil poster. It's a bunch of different selections of materials that it can cut. Today I'm going to be using cardstock, so I'll click on cardstock. And then it's going to tell me tools and materials loaded. You need to have a fine point blade, which I have in there already, so we should be good to go. Now it just says press go. So I'm going to go on the actual Cricut machine. There's a little C button that's blinking right now. I'm going to hit that and let's see if it can cut exactly what I needed to cut. All right. Let's pray. I think it'll cut all right. We'll see. I'm more hoping that it's going to cut the right size. All right. All right, man, let me just go back real quick. Bread Knight, man, I'm sorry we ain't customizing anything right now. We're kind of customizing, well, patterns, I guess, which will eventually customize into a shoe. Dang, Wesley said he could cut 100 different materials, dude. That's nuts. I mean, the technology on that is just crazy. So, something nice and cool. Man, this isn't nice and cool for you, bro? Nah, I know I didn't customize it in front of you, but it was customized. Working on an X-Men jean jacket, bro. That sounds sick. I see more LK prop. Dude, I got a whole bunch. Bro, this is... You didn't see our last stream, huh? Look at all these LK products, man. LK just sent me all these. Shout out to LK, man. He sent me one of each thing. He was supposed to send me actually some trigger grips as well. If you don't know what that is, it's those little guys that go onto the actual airbrush. So I'm waiting for those so I can give those out to you guys. So I'm just kind of waiting on them, I see more LK products there. Okay, and then Air 420 Caduced. Nice. I'm a noob. Only practice painting one color layers on an old pair. That's okay, man. Empire Customs, man. That's why we're here, bro. A lot of us here are new. A lot of us here are learning. A lot of us here are, professionals. It's just more of a vibe, man. If you like customs and you like sneakers, you're at the right channel, homie. Oh, I didn't know that you can tag other YouTubers in a video. That's pretty sick. Everett, man. Life's good? Oh, man. We lost Wesley, y'all. He said, Bud, got to take off. It's been a pleasure watching you. We got to link up and collab. Something hit me up or I'll just DM you. Perfect, man. Shout out to you and your crew. Let's get it. 2022. I got you, brother. Thank you, man. Dude, we're at 100 messages. Nice job, y'all. Let's check out what this looks like. Hopefully it didn't cut bad. I have a reference as well, so let's see. Oh, that's sick. That is awesome. Looks perfect, dude. Look at where it cut. So clearly I'm doing something wrong. Because that's not what it was supposed to be cut. Y'all see how small that is? I don't even know what happened there. So let's take a look back. I'm going to take a look back real quick and see what happened. And if any of you guys are educated in the Maker, man, let me know. Maybe y'all could help me out here, because clearly that was not supposed to happen. Basic cut, basic cut. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Are you sure you want to cancel? Yep. Hell yeah, I want to cancel. Alright, let's try to start that again. I'm going to upload it from scratch. That sucked. I was hoping that was going to come out clean. All right, I'm gonna cut something else out because that clearly didn't work out. All right, so I'm gonna start with another part of the heel, and hopefully this works out okay. I think that I need to revise the size on it. So let's go ahead and grab the original pieces that I had there, and we're gonna see if we can revise it. So that's the one thing that I've been having trouble with on Cricut, is that when I put something in there, it'll end up resizing it to the size that it decides to choose. So anybody who has any knowledge or idea on why that happens, let me know. Right now I could even see that I uploaded a pattern and it's clearly smaller than my original pattern. So let me just kind of increase the size and let's see if we can get it to be kind of close. Yeah, this is the part that's a little frustrating, is when you get something new, you got to learn it from scratch. But, you know, once you get it down, you never have to worry about it after that. Okay, so I think I got this down. Let's see. Can you guys see? Here, let me pull this over so y'all can see too. This is where I'm at here, okay? You guys can see the panels here that are black, and I've got some panels here that are blue. The blue ones are in vector format. You need vector formats to cut in Cricut Design. And so right now, the black ones I had were a PDF file. I had to convert the PDF file to a vector file. And so this is what I got. This is the result of it. The blue sections are the ones that I'm going to cut out. Okay, so let me go ahead and try this again. Hopefully second time's a charm, because the first time was definitely not. And it looks pretty close. Let's see. All right, for sake of just trying, let's go ahead and I'm going to try to cut these out and see what happens. So what I'll do is I will, just to save a little bit of paper, I'm going to try to pull it up all the way to the top. All right, and we're going to try round 2 here. So what I'll do is I'll take the same paper here, and I'm going to just flip it. So it's from here and here, it's the same thing. So I'm going to just flip it here. So it should cut things out here. Let's try this again. I'm going to load this guy up. All right, y'all, take 2. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the Make It button on the top right. When you hit the Make It button, it brings your... And this is another thing that I'm still kind of working on. I notice it says Basic Cut 1, and then it says Basic Cut 2. So for some reason, it's not bunching all of them together. It's cutting one of the things, and then it tells me to continue. So let's go ahead and cut the first part. Hot day today, y'all. At least in Cali. All right, so same thing. It just asked me, like, what are we using? I'm using a medium cardstock. I got the fine point blade in. Hit that go button. So let's hit that go real quick. There we go. Cool. All right. And we got to do the bottom of this guy here. So let me hit that bottom up real quick. Again, I'm going to pick this bottom up. I hate taking it out because I know it's perfect, but I also know I need to add the glue underneath. So let's go ahead and just add the glue real quick, and then I'm praying that comes out better that second time. Y'all see how that glue is kind of getting chunky? Shouldn't have a chunky look to it. It's a little concerning to me, but again, this is just going to be in the middle, and it feels like it's good enough to use just on the tail end of here. Grabbing more glue. This glue generally is very liquidy, and you can see that that's not looking too liquidy there. Getting underneath the swoosh here, trying to get both sides, and then I'm just rolling the glue up, so then that way I know I have a nice thin glue layer there on that webbing. Nothing too thick here, okay? Again, we don't want it to seep all the way through and then you can see the glue. That's not a good look at the end of the day. Is that good? See that? You can see the glue there, right? It's kind of shiny. And now we got to do the same thing on the other end, otherwise the glue will not bond well. So let's grab a little bit of that glue here. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to just pick this up. I've got a good idea of where this is going to land now, right? This is what I sometimes do. I'll lay it down just to make sure I'm laying it in the right section. A little bit more glue. There we go. Cool. So that feels good. Before I finish, I'm going to lay some glue on the inside here. All right. Before I do that, though, let me just clean this off because there's a lot of glue on this. I don't want to leave dry glue in there. I want to have some nice, new, fresh glue. There we go. Cool. See how much I put there? This should be good enough to supplement both sides here, all right? So as I put it down, before I put it down, I like to push this section down, the glue panels down, and see if I can kind of dive in. Notice that I'm getting it on the sole end first. And now I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. When I lay it down, again, I like to have a reference point for it. All right, so we're going to, again, think about having that finger there. So it'll be somewhere along this line here. As I push this down, you can see that I can tuck in the ribbon underneath. And I've got to push a little bit more, so before it dries, I'm going to use this tweezer here and really try to get this guy to lock in. Y'all see how I'm trying to get that ribbon to really get down to that end. That way we know it's locked in when it's all glued up at the end. All right, so that feels good. That feels good. Opening this up here, I'm pressing inside, I'm pushing up, thumb, I'm pushing down, so it's starting to give a little bit of pressure. See, the thing about this compound cement here, if you don't put pressure, it doesn't get that full lock in, so really trying to press that in is a smart idea. It's got this little edge here that I gotta get glued in. All right, so that looks good. When I'm locking it in, I'm making sure that we have a little bit of, you know, flexibility here. It shouldn't be where the webbing is super tight, because what'll happen is you'll be walking, and then all of a sudden, if this stretches too much, it'll pop back out, and we don't want that. We want to make sure that there's enough stretch and give here. There we go. That looks pretty locked in. All right. Now again, I'm pressing down on the whole webbing here because it's just gotten freshly glued, but it didn't get the pressure it needed. So we're going to make sure that we're going to put that pressure on it. That way it really locks it into place. Now don't forget, we're still going to have to stitch a line here, stitch a line here, and then stitch and lock in here. So I've still got, you know, things to do here to finish up. All right. If I feel like it needs to be moved over a little bit, I could still give it a little bit of a tug, you know, just to straighten out the line. Line looks pretty good to me. And again, it's hitting right where that one circle is on this, on the Gucci there, so that's good. I'm going to pull it just a little bit more. I got to be careful with pulling it though. There we go. Just to try to get it a little straight, you know? Whew! Man. That was stressful, bro. Let's go check out this cut. Bruh, insta-fail. Insta-fail. So look at what this cut looks like. That's way too small, man. So I'm still working on this Cricut thing, man. It looks like I'm not gonna be successful unless somebody got any recommendations, y'all. Let's see. I mean, I feel like I got everything right, so I don't know why it's not cutting correctly. Let me see the other one. I don't know. Should I cut the other one? I feel like the other one's going to cut the same way. Let me cancel this out real quick. Are you sure you want to cancel the cut? Yep. Cancel. So everything looks right there. Like, for example, this cut. And this is, oh, this is only 3 inches. 3.5 inches. And let me tell you what it should be. Where's the actual pattern here? Much smaller. Y'all can see this is just the interfacing here. This is this guy right here. Yeah. So what did I do wrong here? Well, it's clearly not large enough. So let's see how large this guy is. Let's get a ruler and figure this out. About to figure this out, man. Alright, so this guy here is at, oh yeah, it's just clearly bigger than that. This is at like almost 7 inches. So I did something where when I uploaded this guy, it got shrunk by Cricut. And so I've got to figure out, why did it get shrunk by Cricut? Alright, so let's delete it. I'm going to try this one last time. Hopefully we can get some kind of success here. Because that's embarrassing, that, you know, leaving it like this. Alright, so this is at about 7, less than 7. It's like 1 tick away from 7. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 6.5, 6.75, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's just give it a going to shorten it up just slightly, and I'm going to recut again. Hopefully this cut will be better than the last cut, because that cut was embarrassing. 2 cuts embarrassing. Two, three, 4, 5. Let's back off this real quick. Alright, so this should be at almost... This should be at almost 7, okay? It's just slightly shy of 7. Alright, I'm gonna give this one last go, guys. Hopefully hopefully this one is it, man. Move it over. Is this 4 inches? Somewhere like that. Alright, let's try this one last time, yo. The worst part is I thought I had gotten it the first time. But that's okay, this is all experimenting, you know? Alright, so it says it's going to cut it right there. So let me cancel this out real quick, because it's going to... Probably going to need a new sheet, or I need to cut this one here real quick. Just cut this bad boy up real quick. Move this up. I know, that was ghetto. But it'll work if we can get this to cut right. There we go. Cool. Alright, starting from the top. Now you guys see why I'm doing it with cardstock, because imagine if I was doing this with regular leather. I'd be cutting through all kinds of leather and making no progress. Alright, 3rd time's a charm. Find out. There we go. Cool. Alright guys, we're about an hour, a little past an hour now. Hour and 20. You guys have any questions, man, hit me up with questions. It doesn't need to be about this stuff. It can be about anything custom related, guys. Oh snap, I just see that I missed a lot of... Dang, you guys have been talking this whole time and it just froze this whole time. So let me see what you guys said. Let's see. But gotta take off, it's been a pleasure. Okay, so I saw what Wesley said. Face down though. I'm actually cutting out the patterns from the Cricut at the moment too. Oh, Legacy just said that. Help me out, Legacy. What am I doing wrong? Wes needs a trigger grip. Okay, cool. I got dibs on the grips. Everybody got dibs on the grips. Trying out 650 GSM cardstock. So you're very similar to me. Wait until I send you a picture from my latest marbled pair. Sick. I think they look better than the ones I sent you. I don't know about that, man. The last marbled pair, Alan, was pretty dope. All right, let's see if this works. All right, now we got some progress going. Now we got some progress. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that the shot froze there. But now I got a piece cut out. And the reason I'm doing that is because now I can compare it. See? Sick. Now that I know that this piece here matches up, the other pieces on here should match up as well. So let me jump onto the next section, which is cutting the other remaining portions out. Thank the Lord, man. That was kind of embarrassing, dude. So now we're going to do it about like right there. Probably going to have to snip some of the... Probably going to have to snip some of this off. Just so it doesn't get all messed up. All right, let's see if that second portion cuts. All right, second portion coming up. Oh, now I see everybody's helping out. Dang, man. I wish I had seen that this thing froze, man. So let's see what you guys said. Okay, so Rainan's making marble customs. I'm making a slideshow video of my rough SketchUp ideas and a couple of the results. Nice, Empire. You didn't group it. Ah, man, I had to group it, bro. Okay, thank you, Vels. I appreciate it. So what he meant by that is if you don't group it, then it'll just cut certain sections at a time. Bro, looks like you have the setting on cut where it should be pen. Could be. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong too. I gotta figure that portion out. Legacy, thank you. When using the design space, you determine the size in the app so the machine knows exactly how big to cut it. Yeah, that part I do know, Demore. But what I don't understand is I had resized it to be perfect. Maybe what happened was when I brought in my PDF files, it resized the PDF files to make it smaller. Go bake to see the size of the image you're cutting. Keep at it. I had a little issue myself at first. You definitely have to check the size. Yeah, I know. I've been reading about that. A lot of people have been saying that the sizing changes on it. So I'll DM you on IG. I know what's going on. Thank you, Legacy. I can't check now, obviously, but you and I talk all the time on IG, man. So I appreciate you. Frankie Bars, man, thank you so much, dude. He said, love what you're doing. He said, love what you do. Your work is amazing, top notch. Much love, brother. I appreciate that. So when you upload your image, you have to choose your size and then cut them to the right size. There's many tutorials if you're stuck. Gotta go. I have two little ones. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate it again, Wes. Demore said, where the size metric is, there's a lock. Click the lock and lock once and type in the size in inches. Then click the second lock and adjust the size there as well. To lock in the sizes, you click the locks again. I saw the locks, man. I definitely will do that. Demore, thank you for that. Also, if you don't have everything situated to fit on one page, it will put things on its own separate sheet. Yeah, I just noticed that. Davidito, what's good, homie? How you living? Davidito Designs over on YouTube. I use Cricut and can probably walk you through it. Warrior, if you can help me, man, obviously I'm much appreciative, man. I'm just still trying to learn all this stuff. So let's see if I can cut the second portion out, though. Second portion here should be the basic cut. And it says to hit just go. So let's hit that go. Let's see how that works. I don't know. I'm just throwing I'm just spitballing stuff now at this point. Okay, make sure your setting is using inches and not centimeters. Great point, man. Okay. You have to click the width lock and change the size there, and then click the lock again to set it. You also have to do the same thing for the length as well. Oh man, this became a lot more complicated than I expected, y'all. Let's see. I think I got it. So it's cutting right now. And if I could end this tutorial with a successful one cut out of all these panels, I'll be super amped. It looks like it might be super amped, y'all. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take off all the cardstock so you guys could see all the final results that I got here. Again, I'm just spitballing and eyeballing the size here, but I think I'm pretty close. Because if I got the last one, then the other one should be straight. Okay, so this should be for the inside of the heel. This should be the actual heel with a little bit extra on the bottom for lasting. And this should be just the small little rectangular piece on the back. This bad boy right here. Alright, so let's put this guy to the side. And let's compare. Okay, so these are the actual sizes. And then these are what I just cut out. Bam, look at that. It's pretty dead on, dude. Yeah, I think this is dead on. Okay, so successful there. Little pull tab. Successful there. This is a heel interfacing. This is the heel counter. Bam, heel counter is good. And this is the last one, which I think we did in the beginning, which is just the inside interface. Bam, dude, look at that. We're all good. Yes. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, guys, I cannot thank you guys so much for all the advice. I'm sorry I missed what you guys were saying, man, but I think that I've gotten pretty successful on my first run on this. Again, I use Inkscape to put all this stuff in vector format. So for Patreon guys, when I get everything situated, which clearly I don't have everything perfect yet, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to get your patterns put into Inkscape, where you can put it into a vector format. Once you get it put into that vector format, then you can use that and upload that design into this Cricut design space, and it'll do all the cutting for you. All right, so I'm there. I'm like 90% there. I just got to figure out the smaller, little things, and then me and Alex will jump on it, and we'll get you guys a new video. You know what I mean? With that said, guys, we're about an hour and 30 minutes in. The time is 7:22 right now. I know that this tutorial wasn't exactly like smooth as butter. But that's part of designing, man. It's just trial and error and learning how to do things a little bit at a time. So I'm actually glad to show you guys what I did have to go through to get here, because we did get here successfully. So with that said, 7:22. I'll give you guys 3 minutes if you guys have any questions on what I did today. If you guys have any questions on anything custom related, shoot them to me now. Again, we're doing cardboard or cardstock just to make sure that the sizing looks right. And now I can actually prepare my cut mat with leather. So now what I'll be doing next is I'll be putting a leather sheet on here. I'll be taping down the edges with like a masking tape or some kind of adhesive tape to keep it like really, from like flaring or moving around. You don't want the leather to obviously move because you don't want to waste leather. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be cutting that with a different blade, which is this blade right here. Man, I want to tell you guys exactly what this blade is called, but I forgot. It's definitely like more of a deep cut blade. And it has this X-Acto knife look. When I get all of the links and stuff, though, I'll go ahead and put them in the description of this tutorial today, this live feed. Where you get that, you go to the title, you click on the title will drop down, and you'll see a whole bunch of links. Speaking of links, let me throw my links up one more time, because I know we had done it in the beginning of this live feed, and I didn't do it at the end yet. So let me just throw them out there real quick. If you guys need any of the materials and stuff that I use, bam, there it is for you guys right now. Cool. Warrior Custom said, I love Inkscape. A lot of people are saying a lot of good things about Inkscape. It's a free software that you can download. I just got it myself, and obviously it's working, because I got this into vector images and I've got it cut out. So yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Let me know if you guys have questions. I'm going to take a quick 1 minute orange juice break. Oh, man, that was refreshing, dude. Divine Graphics. Thank you so much. He said, Divine Graphics said, love your work, truly inspirational, man. I appreciate that. I'm just happy that I'm doing this for a living, man. I would have never imagined doing this like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I was just doing a 9 to 5. And for me to help support my family and do this, do what I love, is amazing, man. Really, really is. So today we learned how to, fix a small error that I probably shouldn't have told him that I could have gotten rid of, but we learned how to put this ribbon back in. Lucky for me that I didn't glue this swoosh, and I actually used this adhesive tape, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that later. But we got this bad boy put back in. I've just got to sew it up. I've got to use a patcher now because of the fact that the shoe is already built. Usually I build this from the ground up. When it's built from the ground up, you can still, recover from this. But, the patcher, again, if you guys are interested in learning how to use the patcher, a lot of people use patchers for just changing out panels. For example, you can change this small panel out, or you can add Gucci panels on the front toe box. A lot of people use a patcher. So if you're interested in that, I do have a full tutorial on Patreon. That's under patreon.com/feelgoodthreads. We teach you guys how to do a Christian Dior print on an Air Force One. I basically break down the whole panel. We put the Dior material in, we glue it, we sew it back up. Same thing with the toe box, and then we have a finished product. Funny thing is, that pair that I did on Patreon, somebody botched that job up, and I had to rip out all of that Dior and then add my own Dior fabric, and oh man, it was a mess and a half, y'all. So, yeah, Legacy Colorway, Roger, he said, is vector format on Inkscape.svg? I'm assuming so, because what I did was I uploaded my PDF file onto Inkscape. Once I got my PDF file on Inkscape, then let's see, is Inkscape up right now? Let's see. No, Inkscape went down. Okay. Well, when I had Inkscape up, uploaded the PDF file, then I went to the draw. I think it's a draw bevel or something like that. It's a little drawing tool though. And all I did was dot all the way around to get whatever I needed to cut. And once I got that to be proportioned, then I had to edit. Basically hit edit on the node. There's a edit node section. And when you edit the nodes, you can, make them curved or straight and get them to look exactly like what your design looks like. Once you're done with the actual, editing and everything, then you can just save that, Roger, as a .svg file, and that is what Cricut is looking for, is a .svg file. I believe they use other files as well, but I noticed that the .svg file is the one that most people are saying use that as a vector. But Warrior Customs right now just said yes, vector is .svg on Inkscape. I'm trusting him because he said that he loves Inkscape. So obviously he's got more experience than I do on Inkscape. So hopefully that answered that. The one thing that I'm trying to figure out is, why is it that when I add my PDF files onto Cricut, why do they get resized? Why aren't they the actual size that they should be? So that's something that I got to figure out. If any of you guys have any feedback, even if you guys are watching the live feed and it's in the past, please comment. Let me know what you guys think. Speaking of comments, if you guys are on YouTube today, please shoot me a like. I keep forgetting. Please shoot me a like. Please shoot me some comments. Let me know what I could do better on the streams to help you guys out. So that way we can just get more people involved in the streams. You know what I mean? Time is 7:29, y'all. I don't have any questions, which is surprising, but I'm cool with that too, because I can go to dinner. So with that said, if you guys haven't followed me yet, I'm on several different social medias here. You guys could see here, it says Instagram is Feel Good Threads. It's actually Feel Good Threads LA. We had to change that Instagram name up. YouTube.com/feelgoodthreads. We got Twitch, Feel Good Threads. We've got Twitter. We've got pretty much everything is Feel Good Threads except for our Instagram, which is just Feel Good Threads LA. All right, so please follow. And if you guys have any questions, leave the questions in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer them this week. All right. With that said, guys, my name is Suhail with Feel Good Threads. Again, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Patreon fam, don't forget to send me guys a picture of you guys' latest work so I can shout you guys out on Instagram, okay? All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.